Ahmad Rashad back at Madison Square Garden where the Bulls trail the Knicks by 3 points. Phil Jackson told his team at halftime he was happy with their defense, wants to get their spacing better on offense, and he wants to try, in terms of matchups, he wants to get Dennis Rodman on Larry Johnson as much as possible. Bob?
Ahmad, thanks. Here we go. The second half beginning with the Knicks in front by 3, and they have the ball. Charlie Ward lost it out of bounds. Harper hounding him into the turnover.
Well, this was a good time for Chicago to come out and apply a lot of pressure up front.
Ward
normally when you go in at the half, you get kind of stiff, and it's a good time to come out and apply some pressure right at the start so you can get a quick turnover, as Chicago did.
Kukoc with Johnson on him. Up top to Pippen. The jumper over Mills is way off, and Oakley has the rebound. Charlie Ward, who had 10 first-half assists, brings it to the front court. Mills gives it up to Houston. Michael is on him. Houston into the lane. Now finds Mills open, but he can't convert. Larry Johnson to follow.
That was set up by Allen Houston. His penetration gets into the lane, draws the defense, pulls everybody out of position, which allows Larry Johnson to be wide open underneath for an offensive putback.
Which gives him 15. Harper in the lane. And there's Chicago's first basket of the second half.
Now Harper would try to use his size advantage underneath to post up Charlie Ward to get him out of the game mentally. Ward has had a great floor game thus far.
Houston over Jordan.
Now that's what you like about Allen Houston. He can put it on the floor. When Jordan gets up on him to contest his shot, he can put it on the floor and drive it to the basket, and he also has exceptional leaping ability where he can go up and jump and finish.
They're both 6'6", so he gives away no height to Michael, and they each now have 17 points. Jordan tries to answer and can't. Kukoc misses from short range, and Oakley is there. Houston for 3. Overshot it. Pippen back the other way. Gets it back from Michael and hits the 3 out of the corner.
You know, every time you watch Chicago play, and when Jordan has big games, Pippen is the one that really kills you.
Houston driving on Jordan into a crowd, counted plus the foul.
Again, you see Jordan crowd Houston. You see him crowd Houston, and Houston has the ability to put it on the floor. Loves to go right, but also can go left. And you turn around and you see it again. He's up on him, going right, cuts him off with his body, takes the bump, leans and finishes.
But can't hit the free throw, so the Knicks maintain a 4-point lead at 52-48. Harper from Kukoc, 7 on the 24. Harper to the baseline, tries the bank and doesn't have it. Rodman clears the boards. His 14th rebound. Jordan nearly mugged, and the shot's going to fall. Oh, man.
That was nice.
Nice is an understatement.
Took the bump, took the hit, reversed it, spent it around. But what made the play successful was his ability to go left. Houston forced him left, and he extends and takes the hit. Knew he was going to get a hard hit from Oakley. Turns around and spins it right in. You see Houston forces him left. He takes the short baby step, takes the hit, and spins it off.
Oakley with the foul. Michael with his first free throw of the game, and that spins out.
Again, the pace of this game, Chicago has only shot 3 free throws, but they put up close to 50 shots. With no center in the middle, you don't have a lot of free throws, and you have a lot of shots going up from the perimeter.
Chris Mills got it off the glass, and he's coming to the foul line.
You got Oakley and Pippen underneath going at it. Those two were teammates. Oakley gave Pippen a shot. Wants to try to knock him off his game right now. They know if they be physical with Chicago, get him in a type of pushing and shoving match, that gets Chicago out of the game. Now watch Oakley. Pippen's trying to block him out, takes him underneath. Oakley locks him and then gives him a shot in the chest. Pippen said, come on, please.
The personal foul was on Rodman, his second. A double technical has been called on Oakley and Pippen. No shots for that. And Mills will now shoot the personal foul, trying to complete the three-point play as we check in with Ahmad.
You know, Bob, it just goes to show you how hotly contested this ball game is. Scottie Pippen and Charles Oakley are two of the best friends off the court, and they get into something like this. It just shows you that these guys, once you get on the court, hey, it's all about competing. Bob?
Oakley's first 3 years in the league were with the Bulls. Good years for him. This is his 10th season as a Knick. Bulls down by 5. Harper in the lane. Can't cut it to 3, but Jordan can.
Nice follow-up. Great extension. Timed it perfectly. Used his body, used Oakley's body to gain leverage so he can tap it in.
21 for Michael, leading the league at 28-2. Oakley can't finish it. Rodman another rebound. Flings it ahead to Pippen. Harper from Kukoc cans it off the baseline. And the Bulls are within one at 55-54. A half dozen for Harper.
When you look at Oakley and you watch that last drive he just had, Oakley's a 2-foot jumper. He's not a 1-foot jumper. And whenever he has to extend off 1 feet, it's hard for him to gain leverage and to get his balance. He's a 2-foot jumper.
Jordan takes it away from Johnson. The Bulls with a chance to recapture the lead. Kukoc from Michael. Another try, but it's knocked away. And Oakley comes out of the pack with it. Johnson with a 3 that is short. And Michael has the rebound. Stutter step, pull up. It's long. Up and over the glass. And the Knicks will have it. Michael has already equaled his per-game average in terms of field goal attempts. He's tried 23.
Now watch Michael as he moves without the basketball, and he uses Oakley's body to gain leverage. So now watch him moving about the basketball. Now watch him come in and put his left arm on Oakley to gain leverage so he can have the easy tap in.
Michael with 21 points on 23 shots in 26 minutes.
Miller Genuine Draft presents even more basketball.
Now New York will use different defenders. You see Starks guarding Jordan here. He takes him low and he uses his strength. Jordan will use different methods of scoring on different people. And you see him driving around Houston going left. And against Charlie Ward, he gives him the fake and reverse and the dunk because he's too little to mess with Michael Jordan. You see his success against Stark. You see his success against Ward. And I don't know who those others are, but I venture to say they can't guard him either.
They should use others more. He missed all 3 against others. Others doing an excellent job. In recognition of this look inside the game, Miller Brewing Company will donate $1,000 to the Thurgood Marshall Scholarship Fund. Michael overall 10 of 23 from the floor.
That's the thing that scares you about Michael Jordan. With 7 minutes to go in the third quarter, he has 23 shots already. And the thing that most people fear when you're playing against him, you don't want to see this guy put up 35 shots.
Ward, terrific move through the lane. 7 for him to go with 10 assists. The Knicks by 3. Jordan will fire again, and he'll hit to give him 23 points.
See, he takes Houston inside and he takes him out. He always keeps you off balance as a scorer.
Oakley with a 20-footer.
Chicago gambled that time. They tried to make Charlie Ward read the defense. He found the right man. Charles Oakley can knock down that shot all day long.
Kukoc with a three. Ties the game at 59.
It was a nice shot by Kukoc, but the pass was perfect in his shooting rhythm. The pass that Pippen gave it to him, put it right in his shot pocket, so Tony didn't have to make any adjustments.
Just 5 points for Kukoc after the three. Oakley again. Kukoc wins the rebound battle. Jordan guarded by Houston. Slithers through the lane and hits with the left hand.
See, he gives you something different to look at every time. The last time down, he gave it to him up and under. The first time down, then he gave him a turnaround shot. He gives you a different look every time.
Houston trying to answer, but he misses, and Rodman is there for his 16th rebound. Jordan from Harper, and he'll be coming to the foul line.
See, what makes Michael very difficult to guard is he gives you something different every time. He gives you the in-the-middle fadeaway. Now, Houston will come down this time, and he's thinking in his mind, okay, I know the fadeaway that's coming, so he goes for the up fake, and he slips right through him. That's what makes him such a great offensive scorer, is because he's always thinking. He always keeps you off balance, and he knows how to take you to different spots on the court to make you think about what you're supposed to do, what you can and can't do to guard him.
This gives you a sense of some of what he's accomplished in this building. We talked to him about what's so special about playing at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, I've always liked Madison Square Garden, even when I was in college, when we played St. John's or some of the games that we played. You know, it's always been an area or a place where basketball enthusiasts could notice a fake basketball player. If you're a real basketball player, they honor that. They show the respect for that. If you're just a hype, you can't fool them, and they'll see it. You know, and it's like stepping on stage with an act, and people can see that it's an act, or they can see that if it's talent. You know, so that's the way I've always perceived Madison Square Garden.
And on this Sunday night at Madison Square Garden, 25 points and playing an overall game. A triple-double not out of the question. Flashbulbs popping as he hits the first free throw. At this Madison Square Garden, which goes back 30 years, he's the top scorer. Will Chamberlain once had a 73-point game in the old Garden. There were several old Gardens. The Garden that preceded this one. Jordan hits them both. The Bulls lead 63-59. Chris Mills back to Oakley. Baseline jumper isn't there. Rodman battling for the rebound. Contact with Charlie Ward. Ward picks up the foul.
I tell you, that was an excellent defensive series that you just seen Chicago put on. The clinic that they just put on defensively, helping recover, block out. They did everything to perfection.
Foul on Ward was his second. Jordan, who has 27 points. Just beneath his average of 28-2. Kukoc with another three. Same spot.
See, what Chicago understands.
Charlie Ward is bleeding from the mouth. There was some contact and the official stopped play. You can't be in the game if you have an open wound of any kind. And so Ward leaves and is replaced by Brooks Thompson, which gives you an idea of what John Starks is going through. That Thompson would come in at this juncture of a game like this. Starks just can't get on track lately. Here's Houston. Double teamed as Pippen came over to help Jordan out. The ball knocked out of bounds. There was lots of contact. No foul is called.
I tell you, when Pippen and Jordan surround you, you can't see anything. All you see is arms, and the only thing that you can try to do is get it out of there as quickly as possible.
They've got to shoot quickly, and Houston is fouled as he makes his move, which is a gift for New York. He would have had to have forced one, but instead the foul comes first.
But Bob, that's what you love about Allen Houston. See, he can put it on the floor and go right, and he can also put it on the floor and go left. He gives you the change of pace. He can step back and shoot it. He has the complete and total package.
Now with a fresh 24, here's Johnson inside, and Kukoc fouled him. Johnson will come to the line trying to halt a 10-0 Chicago run. The Knicks are down by 7. Next Sunday, the NBA on NBC returns at noon Eastern with regional action. Most of you will see Tim Hardaway and the Atlantic Division leading Miami Heat traveling to Orlando to take on Nick Anderson, who's red hot for the Magic. Others will see Karl Malone and the Jazz battling Grant Hill and the Pistons. Check your local listings for the game in your area. And Tuesday night on NBC, the Bulls are at home. That would be on TNT. We will not be showing you the game on Tuesday night, but TNT will. The Heat and the Bulls.
When you talk about that Orlando and Miami game, and they flash the pictures of Nick Anderson and Hardaway, those guys have been battling since high school against each other, and it's funny that they find themselves in the pros still going at each other.
Johnson missed the first one, hits the second, starts as you saw a moment ago, check back in. Unusual kind of makeshift lineup in there right now for the Knicks. Jordan gets the bounce as he just takes it right into a pack of people with complete confidence that he'll figure something out along the way.
Well, he shook Starks left, and then he crossed Oakley over and shook him right and made him disappear.
Starks out of the corner. Is this the one? Yeah. Finally.
Now, for a three-point shooter, that's the type of shot that will get you going because it's a shot from the corner. You're much better shooter from the corner at the three-point range because it's a little closer than the shot from the top of the circle.
That three was his first field goal of the game. He had a free throw earlier for 4 points. Kerr in trouble in the corner. 4 seconds to shoot. Kukoc from Pippen. The three is short, but he gets his own rebound. Michael wants it. Starks is on him. They can't get it to him. Now he has it in the lane. Little fadeaway off the back iron. Hopefully saves it into Starks. Knicks down by 5. Starks accelerating baseline, colliding with Kukoc, who fouled him.
Now you watch Michael as he fakes the screen. Starks sees the screen coming, and then he gives Oakley the fake, loses him, and he's ghost in the middle. Now Starks, sensing that embarrassment, finds himself open, wide open. He says, okay, let me look it all the way through. Let me stare it in the hole. And everybody is happy for John Starks right now.
And you're watching the NBA on NBC. Back at the Garden, the Bulls are up by 5. Let's take a look at how their record through 60 games compares to their record at the same point in the season in their 5 championship years. Only the 1993 team, which wound up beating the Suns in the finals at 41-19, had fewer victories through 60 games than this year's squad. What are your thoughts on their chances of adding a 6th banner?
I think Chicago is very vulnerable this year because they failed to bring in the type of front court strength that they needed at the trade deadline. They lost one of their most valuable players coming off the bench in Caffey. Now they use Kukoc there at the power forward position. Last year they were able to add Brian Williams to take them down through the stretch run, through the playoffs. But when you're going into playoffs and you're playing against a tough Miami physical team, a tough Indiana physical team, possibly a tough Washington physical team, I don't know if Chicago can make it all the way through to get to the next step, to get to the next level, because their bench now is very weak. Jordan and Pippen will have to carry a serious load throughout the course of the playoffs in the regular season.
Well, apparently that three out of the corner a moment ago didn't get John Starks on track. Now Pippen uncorks a three and hits it after Starks misses a brace of free throws. And the Bulls have their biggest lead at 71-63.
Now New York is starting to feel the pressure now. They're starting to press on every shot.
Ward gets it back.
That's a big shot by Charlie Ward for confidence reasons. Chicago wanted to put on the run. That shot broke the momentum.
Pippen leans in and takes a lunging three. Contact under the board.
Ward, they play a little pick and roll. Ward comes off. Jordan gives him a little room, and he's very confident in that shot now. He understands the space, and he's looking at the ref saying, hey, chipped me on the wrist. Anytime you see teams come down and they launch three-point bombs the way Chicago has just come out and tried to launch two, that means they're going for the kill. They're trying to establish the momentum right now.
Foul underneath was on Oakley. Chicago ball. Pippen with another three. This one's way off. And Oakley has it, claiming that he was fouled, arguing his case with Greg Willard. Houston has it. Working on Burrell, running one-handed. Good, plus the foul.
Now he absorbed the contact. And watch Houston as he takes it off the dribble. What's makes him successful is that he can go off the dribble, but he absorbs the contact, which actually knocks him on balance, puts him right into his shooting rhythm. Now watch him absorb the contact, and it knocks him right on balance, puts him right into his shooting rhythm.
Hard to believe that earlier this year, whenever Houston touched the ball, some fans here at the Garden were chanting, "We want Mitch, we want Mitch," in reference to a possible trade for Sacramento's Mitch Richmond. Richmond is, of course, a great player, but Houston is playing the best ball, perhaps, of his career the last month or so.
You're absolutely right, Bob. And the reason why he's playing the best ball is because this is the most minutes that he's ever gotten as a New York Knick.
Jordan almost lost it. Saves it for Rodman. 10 on the 24. Pippen to the dribble. Now Kerr into the lane. And Kerr with a tough shot, and he doesn't get the roll on it. Out of bounds to Chicago.
Now back to Houston. When they play four guards, Houston only gets 32 to 33 minutes out on the court. With Ewing and Childs being out, he's playing 38, 39 minutes a night. He's a rhythm player, and when he plays those type of minutes,
Pippen again.
When he plays those type of minutes, he's able to get up the amount of shots that he needs to get up.
Starks throws one up on the run that is maybe within the same area code, but no closer to the hoop than that.
Now that's why you love Chicago. They have absolutely nothing to play for, nothing to prove anymore, but you see two guys diving on the floor, giving everything they can to Phil Jackson. That's why you love watching them play, and that's why they're such a special team, because there's never a moment in the game where they cheat you.
Last minute of the third. Ward. Nice pass to Mills, and Chris Mills hits with the left hand.
Now, a year ago, Charlie Ward would have jumped in the air and tried to throw a no-look pass. That time he waited, and he was patient enough to let the traffic clear and give Mills an easy layup.
Chris Mills picks up the foul on Scotty Burrell's drive. And we remind you that next Sunday at 2:30 Eastern, it's NBA First Person, a behind-the-scenes look at Rookie of the Year candidate Tim Duncan, Indiana's Reggie Miller, and Lakers coach Del Harris. NBA First Person next Sunday on NBC. Burrell hits the first. Kukoc comes back in, and Pippen will get a breather at the end of this third quarter. Burrell, the former Toronto Blue Jay farmhand, fine pitcher who decided to give up his baseball aspirations and concentrate on basketball, makes 1 out of 2. Burrell kind of Mr. Garbage time. In 2 games against Denver this year, he's averaged 18 points. He threw in 20 against Toronto. When they want to give the regulars a breather, he can come in and fill it up. Here's Starks. Missing short, and Rodman styling a bit on the rebound. 18 boards for Dennis, who hasn't had a 20-rebound game since late January, but is closing in on one here. Shot clock and game clock virtually identical. Bulls will hold for the last one. Rodman will take it and miss it short, and that'll do it in the third. The Bulls lead at 74-71 with 12 minutes to play. Jordan with 12 in this quarter, 29 for the game. And we'll be back after these messages from your local station. You're watching, in case there was any doubt, the NBA on NBC.
Has written consent of the NBA.
2 years ago today, Jeff Van Gundy got the job, then as interim head coach, succeeding Don Nelson. March 8th, 1996. 2 days later, March 10th, the Bulls came to the Garden with a record of 54-6 on their way to 72-10. Yet Van Gundy got his first win as the Knicks coach and did it resoundingly. The game seen on national television here on NBC, 104-72. One of the most shocking NBA results in recent years, considering how well that Bulls team was playing at that time. Already, he's put his name among some prominent ones in Knicks coaching history.
He's done an excellent job in sustaining and maintaining the championship runs that they had, and also keeping their mentality in check, keeping them focused on their dreams of winning an NBA championship.
Jordan with 3 on the 24 will take it from the baseline, and now he has 31.
That was over 3 guys coming at him, running to stop him. Jumped up and said, "Too late."
Chicago by 5. Jordan peering intently at Ward as he covers it. Houston short from the baseline. And Kerr comes in to scoop up the rebound.
See, that was a bad screen by Chris Mills underneath. He let Harper slip the screen, which allowed him to put pressure on the shot. When you're trying to execute, you got to set the screen and put your body on him, as Rodman just did on Charlie Ward.
Jordan, a high archer over Mills that's no good, and Houston clears the glass. Houston. Jordan swoops in for the rebound. When he feels it, speaking of Jordan, he obviously has license to do pretty much what he wants. That is not a shot, the last one he took, that you'll see him take all that often these days. Fade away. 33.
That was nice. He took the bump. Starks gave him a little knee in the butt, and he was able to still gather his balance and jump up and shoot it. He's giving it to him in all ways.
He's now hit 50%, 15 of 30. Mills in the lane from Ward, around Rodman. And he traveled with it. Timeout with 9:58 to play in the fourth. The last 2 baskets for Michael.
Again, he keeps you off balance. He takes you right. He fades you. And now the same side of the court, instead of going to the other, he goes the opposite way and fades him. Never gives you the same thing twice.
Durable every day. And by Mountain Dew, who reminds you to do the do.
With 9:58 to play, Michael and the Bulls lead by 7. Jordan with 33 points in what could be his last game at Madison Square Garden. He had 33 in his very first game as a pro in this building. November of 1984. It was just his 6th game in the NBA. And the rookie didn't disappoint the Garden crowd. The Bulls won by 15, and Michael had 33. The first of many outstanding performances in what he calls the Mecca of basketball, Madison Square Garden. A point a minute and almost a shot a minute. He's hoisted up 30 and made half of them. And he's still wearing the old Air Jordans. If they're giving him any trouble, he's figuring, well, I'm filling it up. I'll stick with them.
For some people, it really is the shoes. But as they say in my old neighborhood, it ain't for everybody.
Here's Burrell, guarded by Mills.
Starks is really battling Jordan down underneath.
Rodman misses the turnaround, and Cummings, who has just checked back in, takes in the rebound.
Nice.
Johnson filling the lane, and Ward finding it.
That's beautiful by Charlie Ward. The patience, the understanding. It wasn't quick. He didn't run it up the court. Took his time, let Larry Johnson fill wide open layup.
13 assists now for Ward. Knicks back to within 5. Jordan the fadeaway. And a whistle. Joey Crawford blows play dead, and Spike Lee is all over Michael Jordan as he passes in front of him, and Michael has a few words by way of retort.
Well, he just told him that he couldn't guard him. Starks is a little too small, he's a little too short, and he's telling Spike he's too little, he can't guard me.
Look who's sitting next to Spike, Earl of Pearl Monroe.
Right, see, he says, you can't guard me. You're too little. And then he says, hey, you come out here. You come out. Spike said, I will, money. But that's the specialness that he has with the Garden crowd. You know, no other player could come in here and get the type of respect that Jordan has. You know, you got Earl Monroe sitting there. He brings out all the great ones to watch him perform and play because he really is that type of a special athlete and a special talent.
1 of 2 at the line, 34 for Michael. Cummings into the lane against Pippen. Tough shot, spins out. Rodman another rebound. 19 boards for him. Oakley, by the way, has 14 rebounds for the Knicks.
Now, Jordan distracted Cummings on that shot, but Pippen gave him space to take him off balance. Big guys like to feel your body.
Jordan short. Cummings off to Starks. Ward is open for 3 and drills it.
Charlie Ward's having a spectacular night. I mean, I can't say it enough. He's really reading every single play right, even on the fast break, in transition, defensively and offensively. I think this young man has really found an understanding for the game that point guards need.
13 points and 13 assists for him. Kerr with the shot clock winding down. 4 seconds to shoot. The lob for Michael. In trouble. Gets it to Burrell. And let's see if he gets bailed out with a foul call, because there was no way they were going to beat the shot clock.
But there was a nice pass by Michael Jordan. He understood this personnel. There's a double team. He gets double team. Now watch the double team. Cummings will come from the baseline side, and watch the pass around him. He understands where his people are going to be.
Larry Johnson picks up his second foul, sparing the Bulls a 24-second violation. Jordan out for what figures to be a very short rest. And Burrell is long with the free throw.
See, that's why the triangle offense for Jordan is so effective. He always knows where his personnel is at.
Harper, Kerr, Rodman, Pippen, and Burrell on the floor right now for Phil Jackson. Burrell misses them both. And the Knicks are still within 3.
How long will Van Gundy keep Houston out of the game? I think it may be time for him to come back in the next minute or 2.
Pippen moves in for the steal, and a great save to Rodman. Now Scotty back with the 3. Oh, man.
That's one of them shots as a player that you shoot and you say game. Even though it's 7 minutes to go in the game, you shoot that shot, and that's a dagger right in the heart.
21 for Pippen, and what a sequence. The steal, the save, he brings the dribble across, pulls up, hits the 3. And now a foul at the other end. Let's review what Pippen did a moment ago.
You know, if New York loses this game, you can pinpoint it to this. That's where they'll all go and watch film. Pippen's on the steal. He comes back, saves it inbound, and then he knows that this is a momentum shot, big time shot, squares it up, looks it all the way through the hole, and he turns around as if to say, yeah, that's game. It's over. Now it's a matter of playing from here on out.
Got them over the 500 mark, substantially over it. And those were Jordan's biggest scoring years, but all 5 titles have come with Jackson, and he says no Jackson in Chicago, no Jordan in Chicago, and therefore no Jordan in the NBA, Michael says, because right now his position is he plays with the Bulls or no one. What do you think?
I think if Jackson leaves Chicago, it'll be a travesty in basketball because those two have had so much success, and I can't fathom why the Bulls wouldn't want to keep both those guys together and continue to take a run at it and to make it work.
Here's Cummings. Fouled as Harper and Pippen had him sandwiched. Ahmad has more on what we were talking about. Take it.
Yeah, see, Bob, now, I'm just going to give you a definitive answer on this whole thing. Phil Jackson takes a sabbatical, doesn't coach next year. Michael Jordan, because he really wants to play, continues to play, and also becomes the player coach. Now, I got this information. Now, you know how close Michael and I are. You know, I got this information from another friend who I really respect, and he said that this is, in fact, what's going to happen. Now, this other friend of mine is a guy named Alvin, works down at the store near my house. He doesn't know any of the people involved, but that's what he feels is going to happen, and I think that that's probably a possibility.
What kind of store does Alvin run?
It's a little store where you buy coffee and stuff. A convenience store.
Ah, I see. Well, those guys are usually well connected.
Yeah, he is. He's involved.
You know, a lot of traffic in and out of the store. You can pick up tips that way.
That's right. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you got it. The foul was on Harper, his third. Cummings makes 1 of 2. The Knicks trail by 5 as we move inside 7 minutes. Jordan back in. Harper from Rodman. Swatted away cleanly. But then a whistle. It might have been a delayed call from Joey Crawford.
So the back cut and Cummings goes up.
Oh, man.
And I think that was clean.
That's all ball.
I think he got all ball.
That is all ball.
See, Cummings extends with the left hand. He doesn't go right-handed to come over his body. He extends with the left hand and he blocks the shot. That was all ball.
Instead, Terry Cummings, in his 16th NBA season, picks up his second foul. He's been with Milwaukee, San Antonio, San Diego. That's when the Clippers were in San Diego. Seattle, Philadelphia, now New York. How long has he been around? He was a teammate of Bill Walton's on the Clippers.
Well, I grew up with Terry Cummings, and we used to tease him in the neighborhood because he was the first guy who ever started lifting weights, and we used to call him Musclehead. But when he got to college, he was pounding and dominating us, and his conditioning and his weightlifting is the reason why he's been able to battle that heart condition that he has.
Starks from Johnson, misses it. Jordan battling with Cummings for the rebound. Michael with a chance, as we noted earlier, for a triple-double, closing in on it. Bulls lead by 6. Rodman flipping it behind his head to Pippen, who's fouled by Cummings.
Pippen is so good. I mean, this guy, you know, he's learned so much from Michael Jordan. You can tell that by them playing and competing and practicing against each other. He has so much confidence. He has so much skill. Mentally, he's just as sharp as Jordan. And when Jordan takes a rest, he's always there to capitalize.
Foul on Cummings was his third. Jordan into the lane with the fadeaway. Count it and bring him to the line.
See, look at the pass. I mean, it's perfect between them. It's the pass that leads him right to the score. You know, Pippen gives him a pass. Jordan doesn't know what's behind him, but Pippen gives it to him right, and he knows the split's coming. It's the pass that sets up the shot. These two work so well together. You know, Jordan can see it without even realizing it, that it's the pass that Pippen gives him. You know, the pass takes you right to the shot.
37 now for Jordan. Cummings picks up his 4th foul. A 9-point Chicago lead, their biggest of the night, with 6:02 to play in the 4th. This is the NBA on NBC. Ordinarily, you'd think a more inspired literary effort than this one would be required to get some airtime, but apparently not. They made it.
You got Michael in the 4th quarter. So he gives you a little bit of everything. He gives you a little right. Now he's going to go left for you. And just when you think you got him, he splits you under double team. Great offensive scorer because he has a great offensive mind.
And he's the game's leading scorer with 37 points. If you're just joining us, the Bulls are playing for the third straight game without Luke Longley. Dennis Rodman has played all but 1 minute of the game, and he's played them all at center. He has 19 rebounds. There isn't a true center in this game. Ewing and Dudley hurt for the Knicks. Bill Wennington, I guess, has played a little bit of the game. A true center for the Bulls, but beyond that, we've got guys playing out of position. Johnson with a nice move, banking it home, and bringing the Knicks back to within 7 at 86-79. And Johnson now has 20.
I think, Bob, that Van Gundy made a huge gamble when he kept Houston and Oakley out of the game for so long.
Pippen is free underneath, and Kerr spots him.
See, without Oakley in there underneath, it gives the Chicago Bulls the type of confidence that they can go in there and know that they're not going to get hit.
Starks around Kerr with the pull-up, and he's got it. Tough shot, had to arc it high.
It's funny when you're struggling, you'll make the tough shots, but you'll miss the easy, wide open ones.
That's just his second field goal. He has 6 points. Michael. Oh, my goodness.
See, that's the strength of Michael Jordan. You know, early in his career, he wouldn't have had the type of strength to power and muscle that shot up.
A number of the players and even 2 of the officials are laughing.
Watch the strength here. He takes the bump, Cummings grabs him, and he still is able to fight through and power through.
You know what? Strength is one thing, but lots of guys are strong, and lots of guys have skill, and only one guy has this level of artistry. Man.
You think I'm going to disagree with you?
Pippen almost took it away from Johnson. Now he's on the other end, cutting in front of Oakley and nearly stealing that. Almost wound up in the lap of Giants coach Jim Fossil, who's watching from a baseline seat. There he is. He's used to that kind of contact. Starks loose off the inbound pass for the easy bucket. Michael Jordan now, in 40 minutes of playing time, has 40 points.
So you have Jordan, who has played 40 minutes. Rodman has played every minute except for one. You know, if you're the New York Knicks, you got to keep your best players out on the court. You got to keep Houston and Oakley out on the floor all the time.
Harper missed the finger roll, but the tip is there. Rodman, I believe, got it, giving the Bulls a 10-point lead. Through Johnson's hands and out of bounds, Chicago ball. And it's getting out of hand for New York now.
See, they're taking the ball out of Charlie Ward's hands, and they're making other people have to make decisions for the New York Knicks.
Rodman now has 6 points and an even 20 rebounds. Harper. And Starks wins the loose ball battle. The Knicks with time for one last push.
Well, they have to stay tight here, Bob.
Starks shortened it, and Pippen clears it.
So you can't take wild shots like that. At this point in time in the game, you're down 10 with 3 minutes to go. There's still a lot of time. You got to get tight, and you got to execute.
Michael hammered as he goes to the hole. 3 defenders there. You may have to see this a second, maybe third, fourth, fifth, and sixth time before you believe it. Here it is again. Oh, yeah.
You know, look at the reaction from the bench. Those 2 guys in terms of Wennington and Buechler, they have the best job. Look at them. They have the best job in the world because they get to practice and play with that guy every single day.
Try to make that at that angle in a game of horse, unguarded. I give you 10 tries, and I still like my chances.
You won.
Even with the hat, I'm sure you can recognize the boss, Bruce Springsteen. But you know what? Even with Springsteen in the house, if Michael's playing, there's only one boss.
And there he is on the free throw line.
If we're down to just a few glory days, he's making the most of them.
Well, the line in this song is glory days, they'll pass you by. But this guy on the free throw line, his glory days has yet to pass him by. He's still in his glory because he loves what he's doing.
Michael with 41 after the free throw. Make it 42, and the Bulls have their biggest lead. They're up by a dozen. 95-83. Mike moving in for the steal, and the save for Harper. Harper now all the way to the bucket. Hits it, and he's fouled.
See, this is when Chicago takes your heart. They know that they may possibly run into New York again in the playoffs, so they want to plant it in their minds that you'll never beat us. Now watch Jordan shoot the lane and makes a steal, and he jumps and throws it. Now watch Harper as he comes down and uses his body to shield off Oakley. Takes it to his strong hand, which is his right hand. Oakley tries to foul him, but Harper seals him off.
Is there anyone who loves a grand stage and knows what to do with it like Michael Jordan? Here's Mills. Just about over now. Down by 15 with 3 minutes to play. Starks spinning and losing it. Loose ball battled for. Oakley is there, tying up Harper. What's on NBC tonight, you ask? We begin with Dateline, 8 Eastern, 7 Central. Then a world premiere movie. A college covers up a campus rape involving a star athlete. A young woman is out to uncover the truth. Melissa Joan Hart stars in Silencing Mary at 9 Eastern, 8 Central after Dateline, NBC tonight. Houston has it off the jump ball.
Now, look at Chicago's defensive pressure. They're up 15 with less than 3 minutes to go, and they're still scrambling around like they're down 2.
Starks open for a 3 and connects with it.
That's the beautiful thing about watching Chicago play, is that they play every single minute, every single second.
Here's a New York steal. Ward works it to Starks, gets it back from him. Head fake on Michael. Good ball movement. Mills inside. Harper got a piece of it. No foul.
Too indecisive. They passed up 3 wide open shots. One of those guys should have pulled up and knocked the shot down.
Here is Kerr. Finding Michael. Off the glass. No basket.
Well, you got an offensive foul on Steve Kerr. Charlie Ward was putting a lot of pressure on him. Those two were banging back and forth. And as Kerr punched it into the post, he turned around and pushed Ward off of him.
Negating the Jordan hoop, so he's still at 42. Starks immediately lets it go and misses it. Chasing his own rebound into the corner with the save for Houston, who's fouled by Harper.
See, now you watch, you see Kerr pushes him off. Ward was all over him. Kerr gave him a little shove. The referee caught it and called the foul.
Perhaps lost in all the excitement over Jordan's game today as Houston misses is this guy, Steve Kerr, returning after missing 22 games with a fractured left clavicle and returning with confidence, hitting his first 2 3-point attempts. When they get their 3-point shooter, a career 47% 3-point shooter back to complement this offense, that could be a key in a stretch run.
It could be a key, Bob, but I still think that they need some presence and some force coming off the bench.
Pippen to the left hand. And he makes a bid to show up on the highlights tonight.
See, everybody feeds off of Jordan, and Pippen feeds off of him also.
Oakley scores at the other end, 26 for Pippen. Oakley with that basket now has 10 to go with 14 rebounds.
Now what Chicago will do now is try to run some clock, spread the floor, pass the ball around, get some movement, and then hit you with another dagger at the end.
Mills knocked it away from Pippen. Jordan has hit 17 of 33 to this point for 42 points. Looks like he won't get the triple-double. He had 8 rebounds and 6 assists a while ago, and he's stuck on those numbers. 8 boards, 6 assists, 42 points, and now he leaves. To a standing ovation. Some of the crowd has left, but most of it remains, and an appreciative ovation for Jordan.
And the thing that I like most about what we've just seen is Phil Jackson's understanding for Jordan, understanding how this is a special moment for Jordan, and he lets the crowd acknowledge him.
Pippen turns and fires, and Scotty is short. Harper trying to keep it alive. Now it starts. Last minute, Chicago by 13. Brooks Thompson. Dickie Simpkins making his first appearance. He wears number 8. Lubara Dickie Simpkins out of Providence. They signed him after Jason Caffey was dealt to Golden State for David Vaughn. They released Vaughn. They brought Simpkins back, who had been with them for 3 seasons prior to this and knows their offense. Houston had to battle for that shot and puts it down, giving him 24, but most of it came in the first half.
Yeah, he was left out of the fourth quarter a little bit too long.
Pippen whips a pass into the lane for Harper, who has to chase it down. 6 on the shot clock. Kerr serving notice. He's back.
And Phil Jackson loves that he's back because it gives them such a big weapon now. Now they can really spread the floor.
Mills pulls up, misses a 3. Pippen has it. 5 seconds to play. Scotty will dribble it out. One game remains this year between the Knicks and the Bulls. They'll play it in April in Chicago. The Bulls have won all 3 this year, and 11 of the last 15 regular season games between the Knicks and Chicago have gone to the Bulls. 102-89 the final, and here's Ahmad with Michael.
Bob, Michael, another terrific performance here at Madison Square Garden. Was this one any more special than the ones you've had here before?
No, not really. I mean, I came in to play hard, you know, and every time I come in here, it's always fun to come here. You know, the basketball enthusiasts are watching the game. You want to play hard. You always got a challenging game with the Knicks. So, I mean, I don't take this game any lightly, than the other games. I got to come with the same focus, and today was no different.
The Bulls as a team seem to be, the continuity is much better. Is it that because Scottie Pippen is finally coming around off of that injury and getting into the flow?
Yeah, he is starting to get his rhythm. You can see that, and I think this week we had a chance to get some practices in, and we got more of a team rhythm. And today we came out and I think we played a good all-around basketball game for a good period of the game.
Now, what about the shoes? See, now this was a gesture for the New York crowd, and it's one that your feet probably weren't looking forward to.
Well, I was joking with my wife at home, and I said, you know what? We're going back to New York. Why not break out the new shoes, or the old shoes, actually? And it's been a long time since I wore them, and it kind of, it's kind of fun to come back here and play and remember some of the old days and some of the things that, some of the games that I've had here, and the shoes is a part of that. So, my feet are killing me, but it was fun, though. It was fun.
I figured because, see, when you had those were 12, and you wear a 13.5 now.
They shrunk a little bit. I think they have, but, it's fun. The shoes just mean shoes. I think you have to still go out and play the game, and, that's a big pressure to come out here with some new shoes and, making a statement, and still you got to play the game of basketball.
All right, congratulations on a great game, man. All right, back to you, Bob.
Ahmad and Michael, thanks. Classic Chicago numbers. Jordan 42, Pippen 26, Rodman playing center for the injured Longley, 20 rebounds. The Bulls have won 11 of 12 since the All-Star break, and we'll be back.